Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We wish we could all meet in person, but the COVID-19 pandemic has had a major effect on the way we live, work, and play. And that's what we're here to talk about, specifically how it has affected the way we travel in this new world order. The old way of traveling through crowded airports, waiting in long security lines, and handing over our travel documents and tickets for review has come to a screeching halt. But things have been changing even pre-COVID-19. Airlines and airports were trying to make travel easier, faster, and more seamless. However, the pandemic shifted those changes into warp speed. In only a few short weeks, the travel process underwent enormous changes that otherwise may have taken years. In fact, in June, the United Nations-based International Civil Aviation Organization issued guidelines to air transportation regulators and operators on how to restart the global air transport system. The ICAO advocates technologies that enable a touchless and smooth end-to-end process, from baggage drop-off to boarding. The good news is that those technologies already exist, and they are getting better every day. Today, we're going to talk about the role biometrics play in the new touchless travel model. Specifically, we'll talk about one of the most accurate touchless platforms available, iris recognition. We'll discuss how the technology works, its benefits, and present case studies demonstrating how it's being used in the real world. So with that, I'll turn things over to Mohammed Murad, Vice President at Iris ID.
Thank you, Cindy. Welcome, everyone, to our discussion on contactless biometric in the COVID era. So we will be discussing COVID-19 and the effects of COVID-19 on biometric technologies, currently implemented biometric technologies, and why contactless biometrics during this period are gaining momentum. We will discuss the technology of iris recognition, how it works, what are the feature, function, and benefits. And then we'll talk about Iris ID product portfolio, and then we will conclude with references and case studies. So let's begin. So COVID-19 really presented a challenge where concern of spreading the contagion by touching different things made customers and users think about the non-contact biometrics. And then market reacted quickly on utilization of non-contact biometrics without having much information on the return of investment and how they will be implemented, what will be the long-term effects, how these decisions are going to be reflecting on the final return of investment, et cetera, et cetera. So overall, that paradigm shift, and this is not a short-term thing that today is the only demand for contactless. I believe this virus is going to continue to impact us for a very long time, and the need for contactless biometrics will continue to rise. But this is the time where we as vendors and our customers need to really look at the impact of a biometric technology on a particular solution and what can they do to protect their user base. So why contact in the era of COVID-19 is the identity management or identity authentication has always been an important factor of using biometric technologies, but during this pandemic time, it has become far more important because you are wearing masks, you're wearing gloves, and providing security and privacy for these individuals has become critical. And laying down a biometric technology which is contactless and can deliver a good result for the end users and the corporation and the country's citizens, and to be able to protect that digital identity of each individual. So non-contact biometric solutions could be the key for delivering those requirements. So the impact was of this COVID impact was that most of the customers says we no longer want to use any of the contact technologies. That basically they turned off those contact technologies and reverted back to the technologies that they were using earlier, like PIN, password, or RFID cards, etc. And then the contactless biometric technology quickly became the solution that they are demanding. So the industry response for that was that some customers start looking at facial recognition. Some customers are looking, hey, I cannot have the low security. I need to have high security. So some reverted to addressing the solution with iris recognition and contactless fingerprint. They all have their pros and cons, depending on what the solution needs were, what the budgets were, what the implementation cycles were. They chose those solutions. And then the other need was to be able to make sure the people who are entering those facilities are, for example, fever-free. So there were additionally, they started to implement temperature sensing devices, some alternatively for contact tracing purposes. It started to add QR code and other RFID technologies using the mobile phone, so you're still not touching anything and using the technologies that they are present. But most importantly, to be able to make sure the person who's coming to the facility is the person that they are saying they are, to be able to identify them, they needed a method of biometric technology. So let's discuss what is iris recognition. I hear this all the time, even from some of the industry colleagues of mine. They always confuse iris recognition and retina recognition as the same technologies. They are not. They are very different things, and that's why we have this 8th grade biology or 7th grade biology picture here, where retina is in the back of your eye, and you really have to shine a light to be able to go and see the retina pattern. Actually, there is no technology exists today that we call retina pattern recognition. What we are talking about is iris recognition. It is the color ring around your pupil that is data rich that we're going after. We're taking a picture of your eye and that picture, and we extract that the iris pattern out to create a template. There are no special lights are needed or lasers are shining or anything. It's just an SLR camera with near infrared light to be able to take that picture. The reason we do near infrared light, because a lot of 70% of the world's population have dark eyes. So we can't see the pattern in a color picture, so we need to have a grayscale picture where you see here. So normal human eye, that you and I see, it's a color eye, and if a person have a light blue eye, we can see some pattern. But with the same with the infrared, we are able to see a lot more grayscale details. Then we take that grayscale picture, we convert into we segment that into a template, and that template is stored. The size of the iris template is 0.5K. That means both eyes only take this space of 1K. The iris, individual human iris, is very data rich. As the graph depicts here, it has a lot more data than any other biometric technology. At the time of enrollment, we recommend that to take the pristine picture of the eye. So at the time of identification or verification, if the individual's eye even 40% closed, we are still delivering for fairly accurate results. So what are the advantages of iris recognition technology? The biggest advantage is positive identification. Person's identity at the time of enrollment, even if they are 1 year old, it will remain the same throughout their life. It will never change, where other technologies may have some challenges with that. It's most accurate biometric technology available today. That means there are no two individuals that can have the same iris. Actually, both of my irises are different, and we have proven that in some of the largest implementations that we have been involved with. It's very easy to use. We offer technologies that you can take a picture of the eyes from 12, 15 inches or 35 centimeters all the way up to a meter. It depends on what type of application, what are the needs, It's very flexible. We have devices to do all that. It's rapid throughput, so you can do millions and millions of identification in one-to-many in a matter of a second or two. Non-invasive, you're not touching anything, it's not crowded, you're not crowding anything, you're not very close to a device, and it's very highly scalable. So you can start a project with few thousand, and you can end up with the gallery size for over 1 million or maybe and million more. And the most importantly, what Iris ID offers is the ability to offer countermeasures with the technology. Basically, the idea is that we are able to determine or protect you from any spoofing attack. So for example, if somebody wants to present a prosthetic eye or a pattern contact lens, or presenting a photo of eyes in front of a camera, our technologies, both hardware and software, are able to protect against those attacks. That is a very important factor, the countermeasures. Then iris recognition, iris technologies can work in areas where other technologies may have challenge. So for example, in today's area, everybody knows what personal protective equipment is masks, face shields, gloves, all sorts of stuff. So only thing really exposed that you will be able to see is the eyes, where other technologies will not be able to deliver the results that you need from an identity solution. And then you have workers. They work with their hands. Sometimes their fingerprints are compromised or dirty. It will be difficult to be able to identify with those technologies. And then in other cases, facial recognition, depending on what kind of mask you're wearing, how big the mask is, or in some cultures where women are covering their face with burqa and niqab, it will be very difficult to be able to identify with facial recognition. With all in all those challenging areas, iris recognition is the only technology that can work flawlessly. So with other there are other contactless technologies available, such as facial recognition, contactless fingerprint, or rain finger or palm reader. They all have limitations, where we just earlier discussed, where if you're using a facial recognition, if you have a mask on, the accuracy of identifying an individual in a large population could be compromised. In contactless fingerprint, yeah, they can work in some instances, but other instances where you're using gloves or other covering, or maybe your hands are dirty, etc., may have difficulty identifying. Similarly, with vein, the accuracy is less. It will not work with gloves. You may need to touch by moving the eye. So all those other contactless technologies do create some challenges in providing a true identity solution. And additionally, in recent months, a few months ago, I think in July timeframe, NIST released a report where they studied the effect of mask on facial recognition. Depending on what type of mask and how the mask is worn, how high above the nose, etc., as you can see in the pictures here. And if somebody's interested in, we will be able to put a link in our booth where you can go and download that study from NIST. It predicted that depending on what kind of mask and how you're wearing, etc., the failure rate to identify from some of the industry leading algorithms could be anywhere from 20% to 50%. So looking at all those factors, we believe a true a good contactless solution should be considered. And when you're considering, you need to look at these factors, what the needs are for your solution, and then pick if it's going to be iris recognition or other technology. Okay, so from iris recognition side, we offer identity solutions for large-scale national identity program, or other large or civil ID programs, or other programs where millions and millions of people need to be identified. We offer access control solutions for passports and visas and border crossing, or really physical infrastructure such as office buildings, enterprise, and other areas where they need physical access control. And then time and attendance. So time and attendance can be offered in enterprise, could be in government organizations, could be a factory float, etc. Anywhere you have environments where you need to identify a person and you need to estimate how long they have worked, etc. We have been offering a solution very successfully. And additionally, we can take iris recognition solutions and can incorporate them with RFID where industry needs to or market needs to have distributed database and they need to store that template on the card. We offer with 2 templates, 1K. So these days, high storage capacity cards are available, so you can store the individual template so they can carry that with them. So Iris ID offers a very extensive product portfolio where we have technologies where we can offer solutions for very rugged environment, like you see here, ICANN T10 or ICANN TD100 that can be incorporated in suitcases. We offer solutions for physical access control, which is our ICANN 7 series products. We offer products, mobility, multimodal mobile products. This product it's a telephone. It has all the connectivity available, and we offer all 3 modalities on this platform to be able to identify individuals. Additionally, we offer OEM solutions where you will be able to incorporate our market-leading optical systems into an existing OEM solution. And then additionally, we offer distance products such as ICANN D1000, and there are new products that are all on the horizon as well. And then including these hardware platform and solutions, we offer software solutions such as our backend matching engine, EAC software to be able to manage integration with access control, and then multiple level of SDKs for multiple platforms. We are present in almost every continent. We have thousands and thousands of devices installed across the globe. And some of the examples are we offer solutions in data center security, laboratory and research laboratories, infrastructure for oil, gas, power plants, etc., workforce management solutions, and health clubs, etc., on a consumer-facing applications. Then we have implementation in transportation security, government, public sector security, such as military implementations and others. And then we have a fairly large portfolio of civil identity programs, and one of the largest ones that we have been supporting is UID for India. So let's discuss some of the references and case studies that we offer. I will go through them quickly. So we have clean room implementations or laboratory implementations where you see an individual fully covered in personal protective gear, and they are able to, without touching or crowding anything, will be able to identify themselves with that PPE and hazmat suit. So the solution is implemented in a few of the Japanese nuclear power plants to be able to protect and provide access control for those facilities. Here we have an implementation at data centers for physical infrastructure security. We are deployed in all data centers across the world since 2009 in Google data centers and similarly at Apple data centers. As you can see in the video, individual comes in, they enroll, they incorporate their card during their enrollment. They're able to use their card as a distributed database, be able to identify themselves using the iris. A very, very simple implementation. Our technology is very flexible, be able to integrate with multiple existing access control solution as well. This is a very interesting implementation of iris recognition into fruit farms. This is the largest European fruit pulp manufacturer, and they use our technology to be able to identify seasonal employees. They have about 10,000 seasonal employees. They identify them from the time they show up to work and the time they leave. All that data is collected, and the report is handed over to the contract workers and supervisors, and then that data is transported over to their hub in Istanbul to be implemented to be used for payroll development. So this shows these are workers using their hands, but your eyes are still safe. You're able to use your eyes to be able to identify. This customer have been able to really have an impact on the usage and the identification, to be able to save a lot of money by implementing iris recognition. This is an implementation of workforce management and access control at one of the largest conglomerates in Africa. These are cement factories. We are deployed across many of them across the continent. All the data they collect for the transactional data comes back to Lagos, and they use that data to be able to generate payrolls and schedules, etc. Additionally, along with time and attendance, they also use some of our devices, ICAM R100, for asset tracking and delivery of cement by identifying the truck driver when they're picking up the load and when they're delivering the load. And also, they identify that these people have gone through the safety training. This is an implementation at airport, Schiphol Airport. Schiphol have our technology used in two applications. One, which you are seeing in a video, is a border crossing application where they use their passport to be able to use as a token to open the gate, and then they use our D1000 from a meter away to take an iris and face picture to be able to identify that passenger. This is a registered traveler program. They have about over 100,000 people enrolled into the program. The other program, the application they use our technology for, is access control. For all employees, that is airport employees or all the employees that work in shops and other locations at the airport, they're all enrolled in the system. For them to go from the air side and come back from the air side to the land side, they use our solution. They produce about 150,000 transactions a day using our technology for in and out for access control using ICAM 7000S. This is a very physics laboratory. Everybody knows is that they are the ones who are looking for that God particle. It's CERN. We have implemented our technology there since 2008. It's a very cool place. As you can see, the lady from 60 Minutes using our solution to be able to gain access. These access points are very high tech. Each individual, it calculates all the calculations for how long they have been in those tunnels, because there is a radiation risk. So it makes sure that if they have been there for X number of hours, then they won't be able to go back in for X number of days. It's a very, very interesting implementation. Then we have a consumer-facing technology in Iceland, health clubs. They have about 50,000 people enrolled. They've been our customers for the last 20 years. These gyms are open 24/7, 365 days. The individual comes in, they don't issue any tokens, no cards, etc. They just come in, look into the camera, get identified, and have access to the gym. Similarly, we have a very boutique chain using the same technology, Equinox in the United States, and they have 15 clubs across the country using our solution to identify their members. They do not issue any cards or token to their members. So contactless. Then this program is a frequent traveler program based in US. We have about 600 kiosks installed. They have about 4.4 million people enrolled. And since the beginning of COVID, they have said we have been contactless, and they're going completely contactless using iris recognition technology at their kiosk. And the process works. You enroll into the system. and once you are identified, you go in first in a row for security checks, so you can avoid long lines at airports. Then last month we introduced our new product called Iris Time. It is a device and a system that is designed as a time clock, and we tagged it time clock for the modern workforce. It is totally changing the way we look at time clocks. It is designed to on an Android platform. We are trying to build an ecosystem of partners who have these time and attendance applications that they have developed, so they are able to port on this device. It does both face and iris recognition with this device. It can house a gallery of about 5,000 individuals on the device. The most important thing is that with this solution, the ecosystem of partners can build applications and make the applications do what the customer really, the way customer wants the device to behave and act in their applications. And they don't have to live with whatever application a device manufacturer offers. So that we offer on-device enrollment. It has impeccable security. We offer multiple authentication boards that I mentioned. We can do face recognition. We can do iris recognition. We can do the combination of face and iris, face or iris. It's all customizable. We offer a piece of software to be able to manage these devices. These devices can be managed from a Mac platform, Linux platform, or Windows platform. The capture distance from the device is about 40 to 60 centimeters. We do auto face and auto iris, face and iris detection, auto height detection, and I really encourage you to go and watch the video of Iris Time in our booth and really experience the product. With that, I conclude my presentation, and this is our contact information. Thank you very much for attending our talk. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
And that's our presentation for today. We want to thank everyone for joining us. If you want more information, please contact us. You can reach us by email or phone. We also invite you to follow us on our social media channels, LinkedIn and Twitter.